7 years ago, the Geneva girls basketball team notched their first berth at the IHSA state tournament, beating New Trier 54-49 at the Loyola Super Sectional. Tonight, New Trier comes in riding a 29-1 record and stands as arguably the state's best team, facing up against an upset-minded Geneva. It's the Conant girls 4A Super Sectional with the trip to state on the line, up next on the NFHS Network.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
You start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the student broadcast program, visit nfhsnetwork.com.
Good evening and welcome to Conant High School for tonight's Class 4A Girls Basketball Super Sectional between New Trier and Geneva. I'm Sam Brief with my partner Justin Garfinkel, bringing you tonight's contest on behalf of the IHSA. Justin, a trip to Illinois State is on the line, and New Trier has lost just once all year. What does Geneva need to do to beat the Trevians?
Well, it's not going to be an easy task, that's for sure. I mean, New Trier is a phenomenal team. As you said, 1 loss on the season, and their star player is Jeannie Bain, who is an absolute dominant post player. I mean, she really gets it done in every way, offensively and defensively, and if she gets it going tonight, Geneva's not going to stand a chance.
And we look at some of Geneva's players that could be counters to Bain. You look at Grace Loberg, has been fantastic in her last few games.
Right, I mean, she had 23 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks in one of her sectional wins. And in her other one, she had 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks. So that's really some exceptional play, and we'll see that matchup unfold throughout the night. And
Loberg is only a sophomore, and this is a young Geneva team. They went to state last year, like I mentioned. They beat New Trier to get there, but this is a more experienced New Trier team compared to Geneva, but a lot of talent on both sides, 2 of the best teams in the state. New Trier coming in at 29-1. The 1 loss was to Prospect, and then Geneva comes in at 23-6. We're going to take a quick break for the national anthem, and then we'll have the broadcast for you. And with that, we're back and ready for action here at Conant High School. Trip to state on the line. Last year, New Trier lost in the Super Sectional, and that was to Rolling Meadows. And then the same Rolling Meadows team took down Geneva, who then lost. That was in the state semifinal. So a lot of big game experience for both of these teams.
Right, and in spite of the fact that Geneva was the team that ultimately made it to state last year and not New Trier, in this game, New Trier, as we've been saying, is the clear favorite. I mean, they really are a phenomenal team, and Geneva's going to have to pull a big upset here, but I think that they will be playing with a big chip on their shoulders.
And Jeannie Bain has got to be the best player on the court. Junior, 6'3", her post presence, offensively and defensively, is there. She was voted the 22nd Century Media Athlete of the Year. That's on the whole North Shore, so So she's really been fantastic, and she'll definitely be a force to be reckoned with for this Geneva squad.
Right, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely impressive. And offensively and defensively, they're going to have to watch for her at all times because she can really alter any shot in the post, even if she doesn't block it, which she often does.
And I mentioned in the open, these two teams have some history. These programs have history with each other. 7 years ago, the Vikings earned their first trip to state, and that was by beating New Trier 54-49 in the super sectional round. So none of these players were on the court, but yeah, there's no doubt that these two programs have a definite history with each other. And you know, I'm not sure how much a factor that plays tonight, but the programs are familiar with each other,
right,
that's for sure.
These two programs definitely both have continuing success, and year after year, they put together strong teams and compete well throughout the season.
And Haley Greer, Jr. for New Trier, also should be a factor tonight. She was a transfer from Deerfield. She's a fantastic shooter. She comes in at 5'10". She's a shooting guard, and her three-point shooting presence will definitely be a factor tonight for the Trevians.
Right. I mean, she's definitely going to have to keep Geneva, away from Jeannie Bame sometimes in the post if she's able to knock down some threes and space the floor.
We're almost ready for action here. A trip to state on the line, no doubt. One of the biggest games these players will ever play in. And we are just about ready for action. It's Bame, Greer, and Welch. Welch, you mentioned, is a defensive threat. She's touted as one of the best defensive players in the area. Is ready for the opening tip, with which Bame wins, and Jamie McClowan gets it out to Margaret Whitley. New Trier playing a man-to-man early on.
And Whitley is only a freshman. As you were saying, that experience.
A young team. Yep.
Gap could be a big factor.
McClowan inside to Novak. Novak over Bame, but she traveled, and it's New Trier ball. And something we'll keep an eye on early on is, this is such a big game for both teams. Which team thrives under pressure and which team falters under pressure. That'll be something for us to keep an eye on as Greer takes the ball up court, swings it to Petty. Petty drives in, and she can't finish.
That was a strong
rebound,
drive.
Loberg.
And I think that if she keeps getting space like that, she'll be able to convert further on this game.
And now Whitley, only a freshman. She has it on the right wing. Inside is Hart. Back to Whitley.
Whitley does have some impressive ball handling skills, though. I mean, she's
only a freshman, but she's talented for sure. McClowan, top of the key. Swing back to Whitley, defended by Greer. Whitley trying to find some space. Abby Novak in the corner. Stephanie Hart, top of the key. Drive, steal, Greer, and we're in transition. Haley Greer found Welch, no good. Rebound, Bame. And Bame couldn't convert, but her presence felt early on with that rebound.
Yeah, and that offensive board definitely is going to help further on in this game, because if you can get second chance opportunities, you can definitely convert a lot more points.
And a second chance opportunity right there for Grace Loberg. She was fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot two. And like we said in the open, Grace Loberg perhaps the biggest threat to Jeannie Bame in this game.
Right, I mean, we mentioned her two exceptional recent games, and I think that she will keep it going against this game, and she's only a sophomore as well.
Another young player. 23 points, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks, and then 16, 10, and 3 in the 2 sectional wins.
Right, I mean, definitely some impressive statistics.
And both free throws no good. Rebound Jeannie Bame, and Petty pushes it up court.
And already on the glass, Jeannie Bame has looked like she is definitely a presence to be felt. I mean, the boards just seem to be falling her way.
Greer finds Petty in a cut. Petty's been cutting very well so far. She had the drive earlier and then that back cut.
Right, I mean, I think that the opportunities are definitely there, and the shots just need to fall for her to be successful.
And inside is Novak, who scores the first points of the game, and Geneva's up 2-0 in the early going. Welch to Greer. Greer inside to Jeannie Bame. On Loberg, back to Petty. Petty drives in, and she's blocked by Loberg.
That one was a little bit forced. I think that she was frustrated about missing her last two somewhat open attempts, and she just kind of forced that one up.
And I've got to say, you don't want to talk too early, but so far it looks like Geneva playing with a lot of confidence. New Trier looks a little tight early on.
Right, I mean, it's just going to come down to which team wants it more. And so far, I mean, it's only 2-0, but Geneva does seem to have a lot of intensity.
Great move there by Greer. She flips it into Bame. Bame can't convert, gets her own rebound, kick back out. Greer 3. No good. Rebound Loberg. And Geneva, no doubt they have more fans here in the house. A lot of royal blue, a lot of Geneva students. It's definitely a closer drive for them than New Trier all the way out in Winnetka. No good by Novak. She gets her own board, though. And a little scrum, and she just took it away from Bame. McClowan. And the foul!
I mean,
Geneva.
We were just talking about which team wants it more, and right there in that possession, Geneva wanted that ball more.
You saw Novak absolutely take it away from Jenny Bame, and then how about the finish by McClowan, little fadeaway layup, and Geneva playing with a lot of swagger in the early going.
Yeah, I mean, 4-0, almost halfway through the quarter. I mean, low-scoring game.
And first substitution is Jackie Welch comes out, and it's Autumn Callis who comes in for the Trevians, as McClowan will try to convert the three-point play.
And the post matchup so far has definitely been felt on both sides. I mean, we've seen a lot of good defense played on both Loberg and on Bame. Bame's missed a couple of shots early because they're really not coming easy.
A lot of energy in the building, and it seems to be mostly pro-Geneva. They've got a lot of fans here, and the team is thriving off of that in the early going.
Double team converges on Bame every time she touches the ball.
They're playing her very well. They're clearly prepared. Bame, jumper, no good. She's 0 for 3 in the early going. And now Whitley. She's got some impressive handles.
Yeah, she really has been able to force a lot of missteps by her defender.
Whitley defended by Greer. Flip to Novak. Novak finds Loberg, and Whitley for 3. No good. And another hustle play. Abby Novak.
We haven't seen that many threes attempted, but none of them gone in so far.
Loberg inside.
I think that both team strategies may have been to go inside, and the shots really aren't falling there either.
Right there, another inside shot. And McClowan and a timeout by Terry Rogers of New Trier, and Geneva feeling it in the early going. They're up 7-0 with 3:52 left in the first. How have they been able to get it done against arguably the state's best team?
Well, I mean, 0 points scored by New Trier, and that all comes down to just some exceptional defense by Geneva.
You talked about the double team on, I mean, it's not a true double team because it's really only when she gets the ball, but they're converging very well on Jeannie Bame.
Right, and I think that that's definitely been a factor. I mean, you mentioned she's 0 for 3. They've done a great job also on defending Petty because she's had a couple of missed opportunities. And on the offensive end, I mean, they've also been somewhat inconsistent, but they have had a couple of shots fall inside the post, and that's what's made the difference so far in this game.
And McClowan has been absolutely superb in the early going. She has 5 of Geneva's 7 points, and Jeannie Bame 0 for 3 from the field.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the bigs of Geneva are beating the bigs of New Trier.
And now Greer takes it up the court, trying to calm down New Trier. We'll see if that timeout by Terry Rogers does anything. Bame inside.
That one falls.
That rattles in her first points of the night. New Trier's first points of the night at the 3:40 mark, and Geneva's up 7-2.
And just because she's been defended well so far and she hasn't had shots fall, New Trier's going to keep getting Jeannie Bame the ball. I mean, that's got to be your game plan. That's her 5th board, I think, on that defensive possession.
Greer, a nice spin move, and she finishes in a quick response by New Trier. They've cut the lead to 3.
That was an impressive move by Greer right there, spinning and able to finish.
And certainly a good timeout by Terry Rogers. Hart, and now McClowan down low. Another layup for her.
Right over Jeannie Bame on that one, too.
Janie McClowan. She's on point. Haley Greer to Petty. And inside Bame.
And
again, New Trier responding very well.
New Trier's finally starting to get their offensive game going. 3 straight possessions they've scored. And now Hart back to Whitley.
And McClowan is blocked by Rachel West, the senior forward. And New Trier seems to have recaptured the momentum.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to getting your star players going. And now that they've had some points scored by Greer and Bain, they're going to be able to keep the momentum on their side.
And now Greer drives in, and it's stolen by Whitley. She'll slow it up. Whitley defended by Greer. Flip to McClowan. McClowan looking to dissect this New Trier defense. Whitley shot fake to Hart. Novak. Good defense by New Trier. Whitley 3. Rims out, but Novak, that's her third offensive board.
Wow.
The hustle plays by Novak have made a difference in the early going.
Yeah, I mean, Geneva's really just playing their hearts out, and it's really showing so far.
Double dribble there, New Trier basketball, but arguably the story so far has been Abby Novak. 3 hustle offensive boards. She was the one who took it away from Jeannie Bame, and
Yeah,
I
her
think
and
she's
McClugan
really
have-
kept the ball there.
Her and McClugan have definitely done a good job of matching up against New Trier star players.
And now it's Hart inside. Flip to Callis. 3. No good. And over the back foul on Jeannie Bame, and it'll be Geneva basketball. And it's interesting. You see pretty big student section there for Geneva and almost non-existent for New Trier.
Right, I don't know. I mean,
And there are some New Trier students sitting over there, but certainly the Geneva contingent is a stronger one. And their play,
that could definitely play a factor in this game, working off of
as
the
it almost
energy of
seems
the
like a home
fans.
game. Courtney
Oh, wow.
Reynolds, and it's stolen by Callis on an errant pass, a mistake there by Callis. She was looking for Allison Bersati.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great
That'll be
steal
Geneva
and
ball.
hustle play, but unable to finish.
And mistakes like that are amplified in games like this. The super sectional, playing for a berth in the state finals. This is a big one, and mistakes like that are hard to come by. Whitley inside to McClowan. McClowan goes up over Bame, but Bame gets the board off the miss.
Yeah, and that
Oh,
McClowan
and
has gone
another
over.
great play. Whoa, interesting call there. As Whitley poked it away, but it certainly went off Allison Bersati. But refs are going to call it New Trier ball, and then they reverse the call. They saw it correctly. It'll be Geneva basketball as Whitley tipped it off of Bersati.
I think that was the right
and
call.
it'll remain. That was definitely the right call, so it'll be Geneva basketball. Great self-correction there by the referees.
But with McClowan on that last possession, she tried to go over Bame for, I think, like the second or third time this game, and while it's worked a couple of times, I think that she should look for more open shots than that.
Unable to convert there. Reynolds can't corral that pass. It'll be New Trier ball. It's been a quick game so far. 35.7 seconds left in the first quarter.
And only 9-6.
Geneva's up 9-6.
That's a really low-scoring game for both of these teams.
New Trier certainly capable of winning the state tournament, but they've got to get it done tonight against a feisty Geneva team, and so far, Geneva is ahead. Steal.
That pass was tried.
It was Loberg who tipped it away, and Novak was able to corral it, and certainly Geneva will hold for the last shot here. Reynolds looks inside to Loberg. Loberg back out to Novak. McClowan, baseline jumper, no good.
Another offensive
Almost
board.
an offensive board, but it'll be New Trier basketball. 7.4 seconds left.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Geneva's offensive boarding ability so far in this game. I mean,
They've
have
controlled the glass, even
Right.
with Jeannie Bame.
Right, I mean, they've done a great job getting second chance opportunities, and they've converted a couple of them to stay competitive in this game. 3-point lead.
Greer, full court drive. She finishes easily.
Wow.
And New Trier
Almost at the buzzer, too. Like a couple milliseconds left.
at the end of the first quarter, 9-8. Geneva with the lead, and a great full court drive there by Haley Greer. What's your biggest observation from that first quarter?
My biggest observation is definitely the intensity of Geneva. I mean, they have really just been playing as hard as they can, and they don't care if they're underdogs in this game. They want to win it.
And a lot of energy here. A very, very high-stakes game, and it seems like in the early going, Geneva was the one that was thriving off the pressure, but then New Trier was able to get some momentum.
Right, and this game really reminds me for New Trier. The last game they played that was this close was their win over Evanston in the Glenbrook South Sectional, where they won 41-39 off of a missed three-point shot at the buzzer. And really no other team recently has been able to play New Trier as close as that game, but it really showed that they can win in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it shows susceptibility, but at the same time it shows that they can win close games.
Right, right, the susceptibility is definitely something that shouldn't be discounted because obviously a team like Geneva or Evanston can stay with them throughout the game.
And we'll look at these two teams' roads to the Super Sectional. First for New Trier, they beat Mather 58-6. Now, how does that happen?
That is just pure domination. 6 points in a game, that's got to be disheartening.
And it was New Trier, they beat Mather 58-6, then they crushed half 65-29, then they beat Maine South and Evanston in the sectional, and then for Geneva, they beat Lake Park, Wheaton, Warrenville South in the regional, and then Bartlett and St. Charles East. That was actually at their own sectional as Lohberg stuffs Greer, and Geneva will retain possession. But that was Geneva played at home at their sectionals. They beat Bartlett and St. Charles East to earn a berth here at the Conant Super Sectional.
And Geneva pretty easily handled all of their games throughout their road to the Super Sectional.
No scares, unlike New Trier. Novak!
Wow.
Sweet drive inside, and Geneva's up 11-8.
That one was a really difficult finish. That was impressive.
Greer to Petty. Petty inside. Bame. Nice footwork, and looked like she might have been fouled, but
that one was questionable.
Great defense by Grace Lohberg nonetheless. Whitley to Novak.
And Lohberg defensively has been fantastic so far. She's been a presence in the post.
And she's blocked there, but she's able to get it back. McClowan, another offensive board, no good. Rebound, Bame, and Geneva's crashing the offensive glass hard so far.
Yeah, I know. It really just comes down to, as I've mentioned, their intensity.
The three for Haley Greer is good. Greer transfer from Deerfield, and that's her 5th point, and New Trier has tied this game up.
We mentioned a lot about Jeannie Bame throughout this game, but Greer is also a force to be reckoned with, and I think that's 7 points for her now after that 3-pointer.
And Whitley gets her own rebound there. And Novak, no good on the follow-up, but another offensive rebound on that possession for Geneva.
Yeah, I was talking about Greer. She's done a great job throughout this game of driving and shooting, and I think that combination is definitely strong for her.
Whitley to Novak. Novak inside McClowan, who has 7 points. Novak wide open 3. They weren't even thinking about guarding her on that one, and it seems like with good reason as she airballed that one, and it was not even close.
Sometimes it just gets intimidating when you're that open. You just think.
Yeah, too much time to think.
Right.
Some of the best shooters say that it's easier to shoot a contested 3 than an open 3, because when you have an open 3, you're just thinking about everything. You've got all that time in the world, and
you're like, I can't miss this one.
But it seems the Trevians must have seen something in the scouting report, because they were not even thinking about guarding Novak on that one. And
I still think
that was
if
one of
you're
the
that
uglier
open,
air balls you'll see.
I still think if you're that open, you take that shot.
And it seemed like good footwork there for Bame, but it was indeed a travel, and Geneva will take possession. And another early mistake for Jeannie Bame. She certainly has. She's been far from perfect so far. Best player on the court, but hasn't really played like it so far.
Right. I think that the best player on the court so far has either been Greer or McClowan of Geneva.
And Novak fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot too. And Greer and McClowan both with 7 points. They've been the leading scorers so far as Novak gets set to shoot the first of 2 free throws.
And she's going to look to redeem herself after that 3-point attempt earlier.
And she misses the first. Yeah, that was one of the uglier air balls you'll see.
Yeah, can't make them all.
It happens. Certainly happens. Second free throw for Novak is good, and Geneva retakes the lead 12-11. 5:30 left in the first half here at the Conant Super Sectional. Greer inside to Bame. Bame outside to Jackie Welch.
And this offense really does seem to run through Bame. Almost every possession they get it into her, and then she either kicks it back out or she makes a move to try to finish it.
And looking at the other Super Sectional at Hoffman Estates High School is Huntley against Frem, so the winner of this game will play the winner of that game at State. Whitley still looks to convert. She's fouled. She was fouled there by Callis, and she'll go to the line to shoot too. Another great effort play by the freshman.
And Whitley has shown zero signs of her youth so far in this game, looking as experienced as any players on the court.
And it's incredible. Last year she was playing in middle school, and now she's playing at the super sectional with a berth to state on the line. So she's played like a veteran so far. You couldn't tell she was a freshman by looking at her so
Absolutely.
far. Missed that first free throw. She'll get set to take the second as Catherine Petty comes into the game for the Trevians. Second of 2 for Whitley. Rattles in. Geneva extends the lead to 13-11. Greer to Petty. Petty to Welch. Welch drives. She spots up short jumper. That's an air ball. Another hustle play. They'll call it a jump ball, and it'll be Geneva basketball. The two number 42s, Stephanie Hart and Rachel West, were going at it there.
And something interesting, Geneva has committed 0 fouls so far,
compared to 5 for New Trier.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of discipline right there. And moving forward in this quarter, that could play a factor with foul trouble.
Full court press pays off as Greer gets the steal and finishes. New Trier, clear adjustment right here, going with the full court press. And we'll see how Geneva handles it.
It definitely worked on that last possession. Geneva's having a hard time breaking it.
But there Geneva was able to break it. McClowan, short jumper, no good. Another offensive board. This time it's Grace Loberg. She finishes, and it's tied up.
It seems like every other possession they get an offensive board, and they've done a good job of finishing when they have.
Certainly one of the themes so far has been those hustle plays, and there's no doubt Geneva has won that so far. As Jeannie Boehm can't handle the pass from Greer, and it's Geneva basketball. Jeannie Boehm shown a lot of imperfection so far.
Yeah, and also on defense, I think that New Trier has to do a better job of boxing out. I mean, they can't put all of the rebounding efforts onto Jeannie Boehm. Other people have to step up and get boards, not letting Geneva get the offensive ones.
And Novak to Whitley, top of the key. That one's good. The freshman converts.
That was a
and Geneva
shot.
has extended their lead to 5.
That one was sweet. I mean, you could tell it was going in from the second and left her fingers.
Margaret Whitley playing with swagger in the early going. Welch wanted the step back 3, but she'll flip it to Greer instead, and down low Boehm. Back outside to Greer. Nice spin move. We've seen that a couple times from her. Haley Greer. That's the 3rd time this year we've seen a nice spin move, and she's able to finish. Get her number 11 has 11 points, and New Trier cuts into the lead.
11 of the first 15 points, and Greer has been phenomenal so far. I mean, even if New Trier hasn't played to the top of their abilities, she has.
And Bain was wide open, but for the second time in a row, she cannot reel in a pass, and we're going the other direction.
And you have to think that if she doesn't to the end of this quarter, the second half, with time to reflect on her first half performance, Jeannie Boehm's going to step it up. I mean, a player that good doesn't stay inconsistent for this long.
But certainly Haley Greer has been impressive for New Trier as McClowan goes right up into the face of Jeannie Boehm and converts, and Geneva's up 5 again.
She's been absolutely fearless all game, going at whatever defensive challenge is against her.
And Jeannie Boehm is quite a defensive challenge as Boehm doesn't convert, and then Grace Loberg takes it right back.
Wow.
Ooh. Very impressive effort by Loberg on that one. That's the second time we've seen someone just take it from Boehm, as Boehm takes it from the Vikings, and New Trier's going the other direction. And Rachel West converts.
And it seems like Geneva so far is putting on a clinic of how to potentially handle New Trier, because no other teams have really been able to do it, but they're up 3 right now.
Another 3. Whitley, no good. Another offensive board, though. What a shocker. Stephanie Hart gets it. Rogers to Whitley, no good. And another offensive rebound for Grace Loberg.
This is getting ridiculous. I mean, I think New Trier should put more height into the game to help Boehm on the
And Haley
glass.
Greer, pass fake out to Welch, but she takes it in herself to cut the lead back to 1. And when you look at these two teams, I don't think there's much doubt that in terms of talent, New Trier's the better team. 29-1. They only lost that one game to Prospect. They're one of the best teams in the state, but Geneva has the blueprint for beating them so far, and that's with effort. That's with these hustle-type plays.
And also,
as Welch gives New Trier the lead, they're beating them, not with talent, but with hustle. But now New Trier takes the lead, and Haley Greer has certainly been a catalyst for the Trevians.
Yeah, I mean, she's single-handedly given New Trier this lead right now, because Boehm has been stopped defensively, and Geneva's done a really impressive job of closing out on her, making sure that she really can't get any space. But Haley Greer has taken advantage of the double teams on Boehm and found space for herself.
And another figure that you noted earlier that's very telling is that New Trier has 5 fouls and Geneva has none.
I know. I mean, 0 fouls in almost an entire first half. That takes unbelievable discipline.
Unbelievable discipline. And we'll see if they can go the whole first half without a foul. I don't think I've ever seen that in a high school basketball game, boys or girls.
It really just is incredible.
Superb effort for Geneva so far. We just got word that Abby Novak checking back into the game for the Vikings. And 21-20, New Trier with the lead. 2 minutes left here in the first half at Conan High School for the Super Sectional game.
And in a lot of high school games, the game is won and lost on the perimeter. But in this game, it seems like both teams are
Certainly not
really
true.
taking it into the paint. And that's really admirable, I think, because a lot of teams try to shy away from that.
And Geneva has shown no fear in terms of Jeannie Bain. We've seen
none
on
whatsoever.
2 occasions just ripping the ball right out of her hands, going right at her offensively.
McClowan and Loberg both have just done a great job in the post.
McClowan was open down low, but Novak takes it right back from Welch, and she traveled. New Trier basketball. I mean, we're talking about Geneva right now like they're winning the game, but we look up at the scoreboard, New Trier's winning, and
I mean, we mentioned
that's definitely due to the talent gap.
right. I mean, they do always seem to find ways to win the game, and even if Geneva has been outplaying them, it's still a 1-point game in favor of New Trier, not 3.
And Jeannie Bain, great finish at the rim, gets her 6th point. New Trier's up 23-20.
Can't silence her forever.
Nope. She's very fundamentally sound in the post. Her footwork is second to none, really, in the area.
Right. I mean, even when she does have a lot of people guarding her, she's still able to find space for herself.
Stephanie Hart knocks down a tray to knot this one up at 23.
That was an ice-cold shot to give this game a tie once again.
Geneva back in business. Great move by Welch as Bain has it at the top of the key. Back to Welch. Short jumper. No good. Rebound by Rachel West. And New Trier back ahead.
And I mentioned that I thought they should get more size in the game. Rachel West, standing at 6'2", was definitely an adjustment by the coach to stop the rebounding disadvantage.
And outside now, Stephanie Hart couldn't knock down her second in a row, but she gets her own rebound.
And right as I was mentioning that,
And it'll be Geneva basketball after Catherine Petty couldn't reel that one in.
right after I was mentioning that they added more size and they'd start getting boards, another second chance opportunity here for Geneva.
And that's been their go-to so far. So second chance opportunities. Whitley, she's been a rock so far for the Vikings. Initiating the offense. Bad pass there. Foul called on Novak. It'll be New Trier basketball. A mistake there by the freshman. She passed it to a heavily guarded Abby Novak, and Petty was able to capitalize on that one.
And there is the first foul for Geneva with 16 seconds left.
16 seconds left. They get the first foul.
They couldn't hold out for just 16 more seconds to close out the half, but still, I mean, it was very impressive.
Trevian's holding for last shot. Petty goes up and converts off the glass, and now one last gasp. No, they don't get a shot off, and heading into halftime, New Trier with a 27-23 lead, and we were talking a lot about Geneva and their effort and how
teaching that allows them to know those kids.
It's time for Friday Night Football at Faust Field.
Tries to get it to the outside, spins back towards the middle, still on his feet. He has a first down, near side, 30, 25.
Gets out and is rolling. Wow.
Middle is drilled and out of here.
Bit more. He's putting his head down into the finish. It's going to be a close one, and it is. Winning by 7/100ths of a second.
Receiver set. And the ball is... The snap is... Are you kidding me? The snap is intercepted by Dodge City. Touchdown.
Catch me on the network.
High school lives here.
We are digital.
We are high school.
We are high school.
We are high school. Woo!
I mean, we've got events here Monday through Friday, whether it's volleyball, whether it's wrestling, whether it's basketball. It's hard to get to everything we have going on here. I mean, this high school has so much. and now you're offering the ability to watch those events without having to travel there.
Well, the accessibility to friends and family and fans nationwide, we get feedback all the time in terms of people seeing us online and people that were unable to get there.
My dad travels a lot, so he likes to watch the events, like if I'm playing a volleyball game and he can't make it.
It's a huge impact for us, our kids, being able to broadcast and stream these games live.
I think this broadcast is essential because our team is global and we got people all over the world going to watch the games.
All my family is out of state. When they see all my plays, everything like that, they like to watch it and they call me back and tell me I did a great job.
We were able to catch the play and record it, upload it, and it worked really well as it made national news across Yahoo and even ESPN picking it up.
That's huge to these kids. These kids and these players feel loved, they feel important, and by broadcasting it, you have a bigger group that you're reaching that allows them to know those kids.
It's time for Friday Night Football at Faust Field.
Tries to get it to the outside, spins back towards the middle, still on his feet. He has a first down, near side, 30, 25.
Gets out and is rolling. Wow.
Middle is drilled and out of here.
Bit more, he's putting his head down into the finish. It's going to be a close one, and it is. Winning by 7/100ths of a second.
Receiver sent. And the ball is, the snap is, are you kidding me? The snap is intercepted by Don City. Touchdown.
Catch me on the network.
High school lives here.
We are digital.
We are high school.
We are high school.
We are high school. Woo!
I mean, we've got events here Monday through Friday, whether it's volleyball, whether it's wrestling, whether it's basketball. It's hard to get to everything we have going on here. I mean, this high school has so much. And now you're offering the ability to watch those events without having to travel there.
Well, the accessibility to friends and family and fans nationwide.
Welcome back to second half action here for the Class 4A IHSA Girls Basketball Super Sectional at Conant High School. At halftime, New Trier leads Geneva 27-20. Justin, it was very up and down first half. Geneva played with a lot of energy. How do they recapture the lead here in the second?
Well, I think for most of the first half, they were playing with a clear edge. But then at the end, they started losing their momentum to players like Haley Greer stepping up for New Trier. So I think that maybe they have to divert some of their attention away from stopping Jeannie Bain and more to stopping the guards, because I think that
Jackie Welch has also gotten some momentum.
Right. I mean, I think that when you focus all your attention on one player, it could end up hurting you as a whole. And it has so far, with Greer scoring, 13 points in the first half?
13 points. She leads all scorers, almost half of her team's points, as she dribbles the ball up court, defended by Stephanie Hart, and we're ready for second half action as Novak sets the tone early.
However, yeah, on the side of intensity, I think that Geneva just has to keep up what they're doing.
And Novak has been the catalyst for that. Novak and Loberg.
Yeah, I mean, really, on offense and defense, they've been playing their hearts out, and it's really shown in offensive rebounding for sure, with a huge offensive rebounding advantage so far in New Trier.
Bame down low, kicks it back out to Petty. Petty finds Bame back inside, defended tightly by Loberg. She got it tipped away, but looked like it went off Loberg or Whitley down low, and the Trevians retained possession.
These are difficult passes into Bame, and really hard.
They've got a lot of confidence in her. And another one right there, but Bame able to corral it as Novak almost took it away. And
she dives for it, and
they called her for a foul. That's an interesting foul call. Sometimes you hate to see fouls like that. We'll see who they call it on. Yeah, they call it on Novak, and sometimes you hate to see fouls like that. Let them play.
It just looked like an effort play to me.
Yeah, effort play, hustle play. Just let them go for it. You know, in a super section like this, you hate to see fouls called like that. And right now, Geneva with 2 fouls on the game now as they get their first of the half.
Yeah.
Bame down low, another tough pass into her. She kicks it back out to Welch. Jackie Welch, a great move on the freshman. Whitley, she gets fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And a continuation of New Trier's strategy to close the first half that allowed them to take the lead, of really focusing on driving rather than taking difficult shots or forcing it inside.
Jackie Welch, first of two, no good. We've seen a lot of missed free throws by both sides tonight.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we've seen less free throws for New Trier taken because of the lack of fouls by Geneva. But, yeah, I agree. I mean, both teams have missed the free throws they have attempted to a reasonable extent.
As Welch drains the second to extend the Trevian lead to 5. Margaret Whitley takes the ball up court, flip to Novak. Novak looking for somewhere to go. She finds Stephanie Hart on the wing, and Wing will reset the offense. Whitley, 3. Can't knock it down. Rebound, Jackie Welch.
You know, Whitley's not afraid to shoot a 3. I mean, that's her third attempt, and she made one so far in this game.
How about that block by Stephanie Hart? But Haley Greer steals it from Whitley, and she's fouled. That's the third foul for Geneva, and Haley Greer going to the line to shoot her too.
Yeah, and there Whitley just dribbled it off of her foot while she was trying to push it up the court, and it was an unlucky ball placement. Greer was right there to pick it up. And Greer's done a great job on defense too. I mean, she's had several steals in this game in addition to her great offensive efforts.
Mm-hmm. And her impact has definitely been felt, both sides of the ball. Haley Greer. First of two, she knocks it down. Haley Greer, one of the best shooters on this New Trier team.
She has 1 3-pointer in this game so far.
And she knocks down the second of two. New Trier has their biggest lead of the night. They're up 7 with just a few ticks over 6.5 left in the third quarter. Stephanie Hart finds Novak. Novak drives, and it's stolen by Greer. Will initiate the fast break. Greer finds Petty, who converts, and New Trier up 9. Timeout by Geneva coach Sarah Meadows, who is visibly frustrated with her team. New Trier has the lead and the momentum.
Those fast break points came from a great defensive effort. I mean, they really converged on whoever had the ball and forced a turnover that was just almost impossible to avoid.
Haley Greer has been absolutely fantastic. 15 points and so far 2 steals in the second half. And the way she steals and then goes right into transition seamlessly. She goes right from defense to offense with no hesitation, and that's certainly one of her assets, and we've seen it on display so far in this quarter.
Right, I mean, the ability to force turnovers is great, but when you can turn those turnovers into points, that's when it really gets special.
And Bame is certainly the most highly touted player, but tonight it's been Haley Greer has been the best player on the court.
For sure.
But what does Geneva do here? Down 9 against a 29-1 team is a tough spot to be in. What do they do?
They've let their momentum slip. I mean, obviously, they cannot slip on their intensity, because if they lose that, then their skill deficit is going to destroy them. But I think that they just have to continue playing their game and hope for another swing in momentum.
And there's no need to motivate these girls tonight. They've got a trip to state on the line, every high school player's dream. Whitley to Novak. Novak drives right up, but Bame swats it away.
And more great defensive intensity by New Trier, and you can tell that they were a little frustrated, even though they did go into the first half with the lead. They were frustrated by their play, and especially on the defensive end, and they've been playing excellent defensive ball so far in this half.
McClowan's been quiet so far, and almost another steal for Welch. Whitley inside to Loberg, fouled by Bame. And Grace Loberg will go to the line to shoot a pair.
And she has definitely been playing well all game. I mean, you really can't fault anything that she's done so far.
2 double-doubles in the Geneva sectional, 8 total blocks. She's on fire, and you know tonight the numbers really haven't been there.
Although I think that defensively is where she's made her presence most felt. I mean, she's been the key to stopping Bame on defense.
Indeed, that was just her third point, but like you said, sometimes the impact isn't really seen on the stat sheet, and that's certainly been the case with Loberg tonight.
And I do think she has
first
several
one
blocks
clunks off the front iron. And now Welch tried to flip it back to Rachel West, and now it'll be Geneva ball after the foul. 5:54 left, 32-24. New Trier with the lead. Novak inbound, gets it to Whitley. And Margaret Whitley, the freshman, bounce pass to Hart, and now Novak back to Hart. She'll drive it in, cross up. Whitley another three. Goes over the top of the backboard. It'll be Trevian basketball.
And it was really hard for Geneva to find a shot on that possession, and Whitley ended up having to take a three almost at the buzzer. But everywhere they looked to drive or to shoot, there was a defender right there.
And Haley Greer, the star of the game to this point, flips it to Petty. And Petty, great defensive play by Novak as she tipped it away, and it almost went out of her, but at the last moment, Petty tipped it out of bounds, and Novak again making her presence felt with these hustle, high-energy plays.
Right, I mean, even if she may not be the most skilled player on the court, her intensity is definitely there.
And again, she takes it away from Greer. And in the other direction, Novak flip to Loberg, who finishes. And Geneva's cut into this lead at 6. Novak has been absolutely superb tonight, and what a pass there to Loberg.
Yeah, I mean, that was just phenomenal all around with the steal from behind and then the assist.
And down low, Bame. Wasn't easy, but she made it look like it. Extends that Trevian lead back to 8. And sometimes, the best players aren't the ones that when they're at their best, they have a great game. It's when they're not at their best. You look at the stat sheet and you say, wow, they didn't really have a good game, but they still put up the numbers. And Bame has 8 points and will certainly look to add to that in these final few moments.
Right, I mean, when the offense flows through you to the extent that it does with Bame, it's hard not to have a good game. But I think for her and with her standards, this game would be considered less than usual.
Novak. No good. Rebound by West. Another foul on Geneva. That one's on Grace Loberg. That's their 4th of the quarter.
Yeah, less disciplined than last half, for sure. But I think that with the 8-point deficit, they're beginning to become a little bit frustrated.
And now Haley Greer looking to add to that. She takes the ball up court. Defended by Hart. Step back 3. No good.
But that was
chases down her own rebound. Couldn't quite save it. It'll be Vikings basketball.
That was impressive, finding the space to take that shot, and it almost fell.
If she hit that, you quite imagine the reaction from the New Trier fans here. They certainly recognize how well she's playing tonight.
And speaking of the fans here, right now the Geneva fans are
awfully quiet, but loud right there as Loberg finishes on the feed from Novak. And it's now a 6-point game. Grace Loberg now 7 points on the night. Inside, Bame.
Great pass.
Great pass. Great find.
Wow.
Rachel West. And that was a veteran move by the junior there. You would almost expect her to go up with it given her talent, but she finds the open teammate.
And the trademark of a great post player is the ability to find other players who are open instead of forcing a shot up yourself.
Another offensive rebound for Novak.
In every single category that comes down to intensity, Novak has been there in this
Steals,
game.
blocks, offensive rebounds. She's been everywhere. Abby Novak, the star of the game for Geneva. Bame down low on. She goes to work on Loberg, and she finishes.
And she is
Bame has recaptured her momentum.
Yeah, she is turning up the Jets here, and she is not letting this lead slip away.
That was a pretty move. Whitley drains the 3 with confidence, the 5'5" freshman.
And that is her second 3 of the game, and she has taken several because she knows that she can drain it.
And now it's Callis. Another steal for Novak.
Wow.
Abby Novak. Flip to McClellan. And Geneva has cut the lead to 5. Timeout, New Trier, and the place is going nuts.
Wow, yeah, right there. That assist by Novak was phenomenal. I mean, she just kind of tipped it to the side and found a wide open cutter for the basket.
Novak, a stat sheet stuffer. We've been raving about Haley Greer all night long, but Novak making a case for herself. Wow.
And in this second half, I mean, she has become even more all over the place than she was in the first.
Exactly. She's been the catalyst for this little run here by Geneva. That steal, and we've seen 3 times in this half alone, that little flip pass in transition to Loberg or to McClellan has been so effective because, she could have gone up with it herself, but that would have been a contested layup, and The presence of mind to find the open teammate instead is commendable.
A great team player. I mean, she's the type of player that every coach wants in the locker room.
And she's definitely the type of player that, even as a neutral spectator, you root for her. Because her hustle is admirable. Haley Greer takes the ball up court.
So far in this half, it seems like Geneva has put a little bit less effort into stopping Boehm and more into Greer because of how well she's been playing, except there.
Greer there, and it was the pass fake to Boehm that kind of shook some defenders off her and gave her a wide open lane for the layup.
Yeah, that was a great drive. I mean, she's found a way to, as you said, juke out the defender and find an open lane. But for the most part, Boehm has been able to find more of what she's looking for in this half, but it's come at the price of a slightly less efficient game overall.
And now inside McClowan, back to Novak. Novak finds Hart. Whitley, another three. Air ball. New Trier basketball.
She was tightly
getting a little too confident there.
Yeah, I think she wanted to keep the momentum going, and a three-pointer there would have cut it to 2 and would have just set the fans off, but it was not meant to be.
And now Haley Greer. New Trier up 5. Now we're under 2 minutes to go here in this quarter. Steal for Whitley. She's pushing the tempo, but now she'll slow it up.
And Whitley, too, has been playing with great intensity. I mean, we're talking about Novak's intensity, but both of them defensively and on offense, too, like being scrappy with rebounds and steals.
Errant pass there for Whitley was stolen by West. Now New Trier initiates the offense. Petty back to West. Greer inside, trying that spin move. And now it's Boehm. Tries to drive in, but kicks it back out to Gear, who will reset the offense.
I think
1:20 left.
I think that New Trier's looking to slow down their offense a little bit here because they kind of let their momentum slip, and they're just going to try to regain composure here.
Certainly, when the game is a faster pace, is at a faster pace, that's when Geneva thrives off that energy. So New Trier in turn trying to slow that down. So you have another foul call on Geneva. After only 1 in the first half, they have 5 now
in the third
quarter alone.
Yeah, and it looks like New Trier is going to be able to get into the bonus in this half.
And Novak, no surprise, gets the rebound there. And Whitley will take the ball up court. Hart inside to McClowan. Back out to Whitley. Hart to Whitley. The freshman has played with so much composure tonight. Speaking of composure, Novak drives in. She's fouled, can't finish. But she'll go to the line to shoot 2, looking to make this a 3-point game.
And that was a great baseline drive there by her, able to find room and get fouled. And even if you're not able to finish, drawing the foul also in and of itself is a great feat.
We mentioned Geneva's struggles from the line in this game. Novak looking to end that. She drains the first to make this a 4-point game. As Emma Peters makes her first appearance of the night, giving Loberg a quick rest. Peters, a senior 5'10" forward. Second one rattles in for Novak, and we're back to a 3-point game.
And this game is going to go to the wire. Look for a second like New Trier might pull away, but Geneva responded.
Geneva is going nowhere. Playing a 2-3 zone now. Defensive adjustment by the Vikings. Looks like New Trier is going to hold for the last shot.
Well, I think that with Loberg...
Playing almost a 4 corners offense here. With Dean Smith offense.
I mean, with Loberg on the bench, it looks like Geneva is going to try to compensate by putting more people down low.
2-3 zone. A clear adjustment by Geneva. Greer.
They're going to hope for last shot with 5 seconds.
Petty, corner 3. She drains it!
Wow.
Catherine Petty, and now a heave by Whitley. Not in time, and New Trier up 6. Thanks to the poise of Catherine Petty knocking down that corner tray.
Yeah, that three-pointer could not have come at a better time.
Ice cold.
I mean, to end the quarter, instead of being a one-possession game, 6 points, huge difference, and it looks like New Trier may have recaptured the momentum a little bit there.
Those were her 7th points of the night, and New Trier has a 43-37 lead. What do you expect to see down the stretch, Justin?
I think that both teams are just going to keep trying to play their game. I mean, I think that New Trier is going to keep trying to get the ball to Boehm in the post, and Greer also has been playing phenomenally. And as for Geneva, they're going to keep their defensive effort at the maximum level, and they're going to try to make points off of that.
What a game. What a game so far. It's been very entertaining. A lot of runs in both directions. Fans are into it. Novak's been impressive. Boehm's been impressive in the second half. Greer's been phenomenal. It's been quite a game so far, and we're in for some excitement down the stretch here. Super sectional. A berth at the state finals are on the line, and the stakes are high, and they're playing like it.
Both teams want it more here.
Novak inbounds to Whitley, and the fourth quarter is underway here at Conant High School. Novak, defended by Greer, finds Hart to McClowan down low. Short jumper, no good. Rebound, Greer pushing the tempo right into transition. Feed into Welch, who finishes, and that's another example of Greer going from defense to offense in a flash.
Yeah, she saw Welch streaking ahead, and she had great presence to find her.
That was a beautiful pass.
Yeah, I mean, just a centimeter to the right or left, and she wouldn't have been able to finish that one.
A centimeter?
Might be a slight exaggeration.
Slight? Now McClowan down low. Off the glass! And McClowan converts.
After a slightly slow third quarter compared to her first half, that was a great basket there.
Greer to Welch. In the corner is West, down low to Boehm. Petty back into Boehm. She finishes. Her interior footwork is so fundamentally sound.
I know, I mean, it seems like if she has a one-on-one matchup in the post, she'll be able to finish most of the time.
She makes it look so easy. It's incredible. That's not easy. It looks like it, though. As Petty gets
incredibly difficult.
And Petty, great feed to Welch. Welch goes up with it herself. Shot was affected by defense from Stephanie Hart. It'll be Geneva basketball.
I think Welch maybe should have tried to find Petty there.
Yeah, Petty was wide open. And that's a pass that Novak makes. We've seen that a lot tonight. So
right, and Greer's
interesting contrast
like
there.
But
and now Hart.
And an 8-point lead again for New Trier, as that three-pointer at the end of the third quarter definitely was key.
Novak fouled by Jeannie Boehm, and she'll go to the line to shoot two. New Trier up 8. 6:21 left in the game.
Still anyone's game. 8 points is definitely not insurmountable, especially when you've got Novak on the free throw line.
We've seen Geneva's ability to score in spurts with their fast-paced style. First one clunks off the front of the rim for Abby Novak.
And down the stretch, I think they're going to look to keep getting shots from Whitley, who's been their best three-point shooter on the day, because three-point shots can definitely be a good way to come back from a decent amount of points quickly.
And I've talked a lot about the stakes tonight, but on the flip side, for the losing team, it's their last game of the season if they lose, and for the seniors on both sides, whichever team loses, it's their last high school game ever. So certainly motivation is not only to get that reward of going to state as Petty misses the three, but also to avoid that feeling of having either your last game of the season or your last game of your high school career.
Right, and it's really shown in the play of both teams. I mean,
as Whitley knocks down the three to make it a 4-point game.
That's a third of the game, and she is phenomenal at shooting.
The freshman.
She's exactly what you look for in a point guard. Somebody who can space the floor, great ball handler.
And someone who sets the tone with a lot of energy.
Right.
Defensively, she's had a lot of energy. As Boehm finds Welch outside, gets it right back in. Interior pass to West. She corrals it. And Welch back to West. And now Petty no good on the drive, but rebound by Boehm, and she'll go to the line to shoot two.
Petty tried to force it a little bit there, but Boehm was right there to recover and did a great job of getting to the free throw line. And Boehm has now looked like the most dominant player, I think, in the second half. I mean, after a slow first half.
Yeah, she's got 12 points now.
After a slow first half, she's been playing really good basketball.
She gets her 13th with that first free throw. Calm, cool, and collected. Bame was not at all rattled by that tough first half. She's come back very strong here in the second as she converts the second of 2 free throws. And the Trevians are up 49-43 with just over 5 minutes to go here at the Conant Super Sectional.
I wonder how Geneva's going to respond here. Maybe another three-pointer by Whitley.
Whitley.
Possession.
Drives in, great crossover on Welch, and a fantastic dish to Loberg.
That was a great drive, and she found Loberg with some great space in the post.
Geneva's interior passing has been on point tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
they've
not had that many turnovers in this game, but they've forced a lot themselves.
And almost another forced turnover by Hart, but Greer able to corral that. Inside, Bame, another fantastic post move, but the junior can't finish. And Geneva basketball.
Loberg making her defensive presence shown once again. Comes up with the defensive board after forcing the altered shot.
And now Whitley looking for some magic down the stretch. Novak, pass to Hart, three! It's good! Wow. It's a 1-point game as Stephanie Hart has ice in her veins.
What a clutch shot. I mean, she found space wide open on the perimeter, and she drained it.
And this place is going nuts. It's a 1-point game with just over 4 minutes to go. Stephanie Hart has had a quiet night, 6 points, and that was a big 3 there. Woo!
I mean, you could not have a bigger 3 points than those right there so far in this game.
Wow, it's a 1-point game. New Trier 29-1. They were just one close loss in December against Prospect away from an undefeated season. And now they're only up 1 with just over 4 minutes to go.
And Sam, who do you think has the momentum right now going into these last 4 minutes? I mean, who do you think is going to be able to pull this one out?
Well, after that 3 by Stephanie Hart, if you tell me that anyone but Geneva has the momentum right now, you'd be crazy. I mean, New Trier has the lead, but Geneva has cut into it, and you know they've played with a lot of energy, and this place is going crazy. As you hear the Geneva students giving the "I believe that we can win" chant, they certainly believe. The team certainly believes, and
I mean, down 7 just about 1 minute ago. Two big
impressive run.
A big three-pointer by Whitley, then the great assist in the post, and then 3 there by Hart, and all of a sudden, 1-point game.
And Whitley has sparked that. You mentioned that assist was huge, and she, the freshman has stepped up so far as Novak's been a little more quiet in these last 2 or 3 minutes, but Whitley stepped up, and that 3 by Stephanie Hart, as he said, doesn't get much bigger than that. And we're at 4 minutes left. Haley Greer has the ball. 3 for Greer.
Oh,
no good. Rebound by Whitley, and Geneva can take the lead on this possession. Whitley to Hart. Back to Whitley. McClowan on the baseline, defended by Rachel West. She'll take it up herself.
Wow, I mean, that
blocked by Jeannie Bame.
That was a little bit forced. I don't think they needed that right there.
And now Welch finishes off the great outlet pass by Haley Greer. And New Trier's up 3. This one's getting good.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be very intense down the stretch.
New Trier has had the lead the entire second half, but Geneva playing with a lot of energy.
Great
as McClowan can't finish on the feed from Margaret Whitley, but what a feed it was.
That was a phenomenal pass, finding her across the court on the baseline in the post.
And now Haley Greer. New Trier looking to slow it down. Greer on the perimeter, defended by Hart. Now Petty flips it to Rachel West. We're under 3 minutes left. Welch looks to Greer, almost stolen by Whitley, but the Trevians retain possession of the basketball. And they're really trying to chew some clock right now. Only up 3 though, and another steal initiated by Loberg, and Novak reels it in. And Geneva can tie it up with a 3 here.
I think that right there, New Trier just trying to slow it down, keep away from transition points, but turn it over, and here.
Oh, Stephanie Hart couldn't finish.
That 3 went in.
Ooh, that was on line. A little strong, but man, the place would have gone crazy. Greer drives it.
That was
no good, but she'll go to the line to shoot a pair
that was
from
a
the
difficult
charity
attempt,
stripe.
and she's lucky that she got bailed out by a foul there.
Whew, this one's heating up. A lot on the line.
She can make this a 2-possession game if she nails one of these free throws.
She hasn't missed a free throw tonight. As Greer still leads all scorers with 17 points. Bame also with 14, and then Novak with 10, McClowan with 13, and Whitley with 10 as Greer knocks down the first of her 2 free throws.
So now with 2 minutes left, we've got a 4-point game. Still definitely anyone's game, and that missed free throw could be key.
Certainly don't want to miss. Doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter how well you play, but if you miss free throws down the stretch, it'll come back to bite you, and we're under 2 minutes left here at the Conant Super Sectional. Novak to Whitley into Hart and McClowan.
Double team.
Almost a steal for New Trier, but jump ball called, and it'll be New Trier basketball.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
And Sarah Meadows, the Geneva head coach, was trying to call a timeout there, but she couldn't get off in time before the jump ball was called.
They double-team Loberg, and she just was not able to handle it.
Haley Greer had some difficulty there. Geneva going with this full-court pressure.
Broken there.
Greer's full-court passing has been superb. Those outlet passes are just
her,
so on point.
Her passing all around, I mean, even to find people for open baskets, I just think she has not had any faults in her game.
And Greer. Kick out to West.
Only a minute 20 left, and they're burning a lot of clock here.
Certainly we'll see if Geneva just goes ahead and fouls, as they do right there. And it'll be Catherine Petty going to the charity stripe. 52-48, minute 12 to go.
But they are not in the bonus quite yet, so they're just going to have the ball out of bounds.
Only 7 fouls so far.
Or
it's a one-on-one. It's a one-on-one because of the bonus.
Okay. So that was the 8th foul right there.
So Catherine Petty shooting the front side of the 1-and-1. Big free throw there for Petty to make it a 5-point game.
That was a key free throw right there, because you really, like, if you want to maintain a lead down the stretch, the number one most important thing to do is make your free throws, and she did it right there.
Does it again with a clean swish on the second one, and Geneva faces a 6-point deficit with just over a minute to go.
So now
timeout called.
Now with just a minute left, the keys for New Trier are going to be don't foul, take it slow, and maintain composure.
What about guarding the perimeter too?
That's definitely.
You don't want to let Hart or Whitley leak out for an open 3.
Right, I mean, that's definitely important too, because a 3-pointer, and this is a 1-possession game. And that's the last thing that New Trier wants.
So what does Geneva do here? If you're Sarah Meadows, you draw up a 3 for Hart or Whitley, or do you go inside with McClowan or Loberg or Novak? Well, who do you turn to?
I don't necessarily think that you have to take a 3.
Quick 2 might be the better option.
But
then you've got Bame down low waiting for you.
Right, and at the same time, you're pretty much forced to foul because there isn't a shot clock, so they could hold it for an entire minute. So I think that maybe the best option would be to take a 3 here.
We'll see what Sarah Meadows draws up. Whew, what a game. 6-point game, minute 8 left. A lot of energy in the building, and there's a lot on the line.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams definitely do not want their season to end right now.
New Trier 29-1, they're the 1 seed. And Geneva was the 2 seed in their sectional, coming in at 23-6. New Trier has had some close game experience more recently than Geneva has with that 2-point win over Evanston. Geneva, they had a 9-point win over Bartlett in the sectional semifinal, and that was the last time they had a remotely close game.
Right, I mean, definitely it could help New Trier to have that close game experience recently.
Novak. Hart. Corner 3. No good. But gets her own rebound. And another offensive rebound. That's been the main storyline tonight for Geneva. And it shows up with under a minute to go.
Yeah, I mean,
Whitley to Novak. Novak drives in, and the pass to Loberg. Loberg couldn't find it. And it's New Trier basketball. A rare mistake there
And you cannot...
Between Novak and Loberg, miscommunication.
You cannot make that mistake there with only a minute left. That could be fatal.
And you can see right as Loberg let that ball go, she let out a scream as she realized that, as Novak let out a scream as she realized that Loberg wasn't looking at the ball. They call a foul on Whitley, and Petty will go to the line. She just knocked down 2, and she'll look to make this a 3-possession game with 45.7 to go.
And New Trier really looks like they may be pulling away right now. I mean, it was really close until the end, but the better team is likely going to prevail.
But certainly, Petty needs to knock down these 2 free throws. First of 2, another clean swish for Catherine Petty, and it's a 7-point game as Loberg re-enters the game. That was an unfortunate miscommunication for Geneva there.
I mean, I think
that interior pass, we were talking about it all night from Novak to Loberg, was so on point, and with under a minute left, you hate to see it fail right there.
Right, I mean, I think that was the most key possession of the game for them, and they weren't able to convert.
Petty, she is able to convert that free throw, 55-48. We're at 40 seconds to go here at Conant High School. Novak on the wing.
And you have to think they're looking for a quick 3.
Whitley, a long 3. Can't knock it down. Rebound. Novak, another offensive rebound for her. That's no good. Boehm gets the rebound, and Greer pushing the tempo.
28 seconds. Are they even going to foul?
They'll slow it down. And a foul by Stephanie Hart on Catherine Petty, and she'll look to make her 5th and 6th free throws in a row.
She can make this 10 points.
And essentially ice this game for New Trier. And things are looking good for the Trevians here.
Now this could go down as a double-digit victory, but it was much closer than that.
Oh, we know it was much closer.
I mean, with about 2 minutes left, it was a 1-possession game, and New Trier just hit their free throws down the stretch.
And an interesting note, the last points that Geneva made was that 3 from Stephanie Hart.
Right.
That made it 49-48, and New Trier has closed strong. It's Catherine Petty, another swish. All her free throws down the stretch have been clean swishes.
Yeah, and she's been the one who keeps getting sent
to
the line.
She's thriving off of this pressure here.
Making them pay.
But it's very interesting that it seemed like Geneva had all the momentum as Petty misses that one. Rebound, Loberg. It seemed like New Trier had all the Geneva, had all the momentum after that Hart 3, but no points since then as Whitley fouled.
Right, I mean, when you're as good as New Trier, you never let the game get away from you. And so even when Geneva was playing at the top of their game and brought it within 1 point, they were able to just maintain composure, make their free throws, and keep their lead.
9-point game, 14 seconds left. It would take a miracle for Geneva. Abby Novak drives in. She's fouled by Jeannie Boehm. She'll go to the line to shoot 2, but it'll hardly make a dent in New Trier's 9-point lead with 9.4 seconds left. Looks like the Trevians are just ready to go to Normal, Illinois for the state finals.
And do you think that they could be a favorite there to win the entire state tournament?
Certainly could. That 29-1 record speaks volumes about this New Trier team. First of 2 free throws for Novak. She drains it. And it's an 8-point game.
And despite the probable loss for Geneva, it takes nothing away from their effort in this game. I mean,
standing ovation there for Whitley and Hart.
The entire team really did play phenomenal basketball, and ultimately they were just outplayed by New Trier. But every single player should be proud of their effort in this game.
And all seniors on the court for the Vikings, as this will be, assuming that this New Trier lead holds, this will be their last high school game. So Coach Sarah Meadows recognizes that and puts in all seniors in their last high school game. Reynolds under the basket. Inbounds to Novak. And a thank you seniors chant from the Geneva crowd here.
Another offensive
Missed 3,
board.
rebound McClowan. Fitting way to end it with these offensive boards, but it's New Trier advances to the state finals. Final score 57-49. Their 30th win of the season, and elation sets in for the Trevians. They're going to Illinois State. They're ready to cut down the nets here at Conant.
Wow, yeah, what an exciting game for New Trier. And now they will try to win the state tournament. I mean, ultimately, they were the better team, and it showed.
As they celebrate there at midcourt, what an exciting night for the Trevians. Geneva gave them just about all they could handle, but looks like the better team prevailed tonight, and New Trier will advance to the state finals at Illinois State, and what an effort for the Trevians. as they're ready to begin the celebration here. What a season. 30 wins now, and they're moving on. They're certainly not done yet.
And it's going to be hard for anyone to throw anything as hard as what Geneva threw at them in this game, because I've rarely seen a team play with as much heart as they did in this game.
And, those last points by that last possession by New Trier, was very by Geneva was very indicative, because even though the game was clearly over, New Trier was going to win. They got 3 offensive rebounds on their last possession. That just speaks to the effort of this team. It was so superb all night with the offensive boards, with the steals led by Novak, and what an effort by this Geneva crew in their last high school game.
Right. It was definitely impressive for both teams, and as I said, both teams should be incredibly proud of the way they played tonight and the way their entire seasons have gone.
And Haley Greer finishes leading all scorers with 18 points. Jeannie Boehm finishes with 14 of her own. She rebounded well after a tough first half. You see these images. Hard not to feel good for this New Trier team. They've played very well all year, 30-1 record, and they're ready to head to Normal, Illinois